So how to get approved for a VA loan, that's what we're talking about in this video, and let's not waste any time and jump right into it. So the very first thing is you need to check your eligibility. Make sure that you can get a VA loan. VA loans are loans that are for veterans, active duty service members, some National Guard and reserves. And how you can check your eligibility is get a copy of your certificate of eligibility, or what we call COE. This is something that most lenders are going to be able to pull for you. We have access to VA's portal, and we can go on once we receive your application and get a copy of it. But for the purposes of this video, this would be the first step, is you confirming your own eligibility by getting a copy of your COE, or certificate of eligibility, which you could do through VA's website. If you are just leaving active duty, make sure you have a copy of your DD-214 that could be required to get your COE. But once you have confirmed your eligibility for VA financing, the next step would be to get your loan application completed. And before you do that, you have to vet different lenders. Make sure you find the lender that meets your requirements, that meets your needs, and has a history of success getting VA veterans under contract in this market. VA loans often are more difficult to get under contract when in this market, because VA loans have gotten a bad rap over the past few years, which is just not the case. There's a lot of misinformation about VA financing. It's a great product, but for whatever reason, listing agents and sellers are often concerned that the VA appraisal report is going to come in low, or there's going to be required repairs because you're using VA. VA, at the end of the day, is always going to do what's in the best interest of the veteran. So sometimes you would have an appraiser come in there and make a required repair. Some VA appraisers have the myth that they come in low on the values, and that's just not the case. I think if you look up the statistics, VA loans generally are coming in at market value without any sort of issues, just like any other appraiser. In fact, the person who's doing a VA loan is often the same person who's doing an appraisal on a conventional or FHA loan. There really isn't as much of a difference, and that's because VA has done a really good job of adding appraisers to their pool of appraisers, and getting a much better result from having more and more qualified appraisals doing these reports for us. But you want to make sure that you are working with a lender that's competent. Not all lenders are created equal. Not all lenders price VA loans the same. And again, not all lenders can close VA loans in the same time frame. And if you're in a situation where you're competing against other conventional offers or even cash offers, you don't want to be the one saying that you need 35 plus days to close because you're using VA financing. Find a lender who can meet the requirements of your market and make sure that you're being really competitive, even when using VA financing. Once you've done that and you've established a relationship with the lender and gotten a copy of your certificate of eligibility confirming you can use VA financing, the next step is getting your loan application completed. You have different processes depending on the lender you're working with. Some have a website where you go online and complete the application. Some prefer to do it over the phone or in person. Whatever it may be, get that loan application completed. It doesn't take too long. It's not a difficult application. It's the same application no matter what mortgage you get. It's a standard form where basically banks and lenders are just asking information about you. Who you are, your name, social, date of birth, where you've lived for the past 2 years, where you've worked for the past 2 years, how much money you make, and how much money you have in the bank. Based off of that application, the lender will be able to pull a credit report and then request a documentation from you that's needed to verify all the information on the application, which is the next step in the process, is getting the documents in to your lender to ensure that you are qualified for the VA loan. There are lots of differences between lenders when it comes to overlays with VA financing, because VA financing, as I said in the previous video, is pretty lenient when it comes to credit requirements, as far as credit scores go, debt to income ratios, but banks and lenders have what they call overlays. And a lot of the times, the information on your loan application may not match your documentation. It's because sometimes overtime income is averaged, commission, bonus income is average. Things are treated differently than what you may think your qualifying income is. So your documents are needed to make sure the information in the application is accurate, and the income and assets being considered match VA guidelines, so that when the lender runs your file through the automated underwriting software program, it can accurately determine if you are eligible for VA financing or not. If you don't get that automatic approve eligible accept when running the file through the automated underwriting software, it's not the end of the world. VA does allow for manual underwrites. But again, when we're talking about speed and how competitive the market may be, you really want to make sure that you are working with a lender that, if it does go the manual route, can still accommodate your needs as a buyer, move quickly, and not run into any red tape or delays, or even worse, after going under contract. So it's really important when getting a VA loan that you not only confirm your eligibility for it by getting your certificate of eligibility, but you work with a great partner who is comfortable and competent when it comes to VA loans. You get your application completed as early on in the process as possible, and get your documentation into that lender so they can verify everything on the application and get it through underwriting, whether it's the automated software or using a manual underwrite. But that's it in a nutshell about getting the VA loan approved. There is a whole nother side to this coin when you go under contract. And if you want to learn more about that side, let me know in the comments and we can make a video about it in the future. But for now, my name is Tim Kelly. I'm a loan officer right outside of Washington, D.C. And the purpose of this channel is to help you manage your mortgage and finance your real estate goals. So if you are new here, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, check out some of these other videos. You might find them helpful.